Alrighty, hello everyone. Thank you for joining us today, joining our support series that is ran by the Student Involvement Office. Today we will be discussing running for an e-board position. And so what that looks like, maybe some tips and tricks that you can use when preparing for running for an e-board position, and just how and why to get started in a position. So before we get started, just to introduce myself, my name is Kayla Williams, and I am the graduate assistant for the Student Involvement Office.
My name is Kiara Russell. Hi. And I am one of the involvement interns for the Student Involvement Office.
Alrighty, so let's get right into it.
So, why and how should you join an e-board? There are a couple reasons why. Joining an e-board, you gain a lot of leadership experience and it gives you a chance to cultivate and tend to the skills needed to be a leader on any type of position in any type of organization, even on your job. It looks good on resumes. It provides you with opportunities to make more change on campus and in your community, whatever community that is, Whitewater's community, um, housing community, or etc. And it's a good way for you to network and make connections. I know when I became a member of a couple of e-boards, that was my way of getting into different rooms with people and learning to meet and growing in relationships with administration. Um, it was really fun too. How can you do this? Well, many organizations host elections in the spring semester, and if elections are not addressed in your organization's meeting, you can ask a current member of the org if they will be hosting elections for the upcoming semester.
Alrighty, so what are some things orgs may look for in a potential e-board member? So the first one is, what do you know about the organization? Do you have an understanding of what their mission is, and what their purpose is as an organization, and how they hope to serve their students that they are catering to? Also, what are your reasons for joining the e-board? Whether that's to just gain more leadership skills, to get more connected with students on campus, or whatever that may be for you. Also, a lot of individuals look for good academic standing. It's important that you also have good grades as an e-board member because it is a large time commitment. And you are here to attend school and to get an education. So individuals just want to make sure that you're able to not only manage your org responsibilities, but also manage your academic responsibilities. Are you able to communicate well orally and written? You will be working with a lot of other individuals, whether that is your fellow e-board members or just the members that you all are tending to. So that leads right into the next point, which is teamwork. Working with the e-board does require a lot of teamwork. My time in undergrad as an e-board member, there was never a time that I was working by myself. So just being able to interact with other individuals and communicate well is a major plus. Also, what is your work ethic like? Are you able to manage your time and provide efficient work in order to have an successful organization? Sorry. And then also time management. Being a part of e-board member is almost like having another job. There's a lot of hours that you have to put into it in order to see your organization succeed, such as being able to stay committed to those time commitments that are required of you. And then also, if you have a passion towards the organization's mission, of course, people want someone on their board that is there for more than just their resume, to build their resume, but they also want somebody that genuinely and truly cares about the organization and what they hope to do and hope to achieve on campus.
Get ready, get set, apply. I'm sorry, I just want to say that like that. So what are some ways that you can become a competitive applicant for any e-board basically on Whitewater's campus? Well, first you have to familiarize yourself with the organization. How well do you know the org? What is the org about? What is their mission statement? What do they do? What are they known around campus for? What are some activities and events that they throw? Also, connect with the current e-board. So if you want to be, I don't know, the secretary for the following year, then you probably should start talking to the current secretary. What is their job entail? What are they responsible for? What is their day-to-day task like? What do they need to do? What's challenging? What's hard? What do they like about it? What's easier? Participate in current events and meetings. So I know from my organization, we're looking for upcoming um, EMOR members. It's a plus if you know that what the org is about. It's also a plus if I see you in our events and you're active and you enjoy. I see that you enjoy being here and you are bringing people to the organization. That means that you're adding, and I can tell that you're adding to the org. So participating in the meetings and events is a really big and it's really important because if you don't, that means like how else are you going to get to know the organization? Also, if you have the chance, sign up for volunteer opportunities. That can go for your graduation requirements, if you need volunteer hours, as well as getting to know the org and the current members also. Some other ways to develop professional skills are through sources offered by COD. So we have a resume doctor that is a great resource for students to come and update their resumes or get help on creating one if they are new or transfer students. And we also have mock interviews that you can come and do not only just for jobs or internships, but you can have a mock interview for an organization if you think you need some extra practice. You can also attend professional development conferences and events such as NBSU research symposiums. A lot of other organizations have conferences like NAPA or DECA. Um, yeah.
Yeah. So before we get into questions, just to do a quick like testimony of sorts, and some people may be thinking, oh, why should I get involved as an e-board member? What's the purpose of it? How can it benefit me? A lot of employers like to see students that are involved on campus and engaged with not only classes and their professors, but also their community. So it provides a lot of insight on a lot of skills that you would use in your possible career of choice. So whether that is things like we touched on earlier, like time management, teamwork, your cultural competency, etc. There's so many things that you can gain from joining an e-board position. So, for example, if you're not ready to take that next step to, let's say, get a job on campus or even off campus, or even apply for an internship, the e-board position is definitely a great place to start. For me, that's how I got started on campus. I started off on the BSU board. And of course, don't feel pressured to go for the top e-board position. If you're not ready to be president of an organization, you do not have to do that. You can definitely take baby steps and build your way up in the chain of sorts. I started as the secretary for our organization, and then eventually worked up to vice president. So there's a lot of benefits, and I think that if I did not run for a board position, um, honestly, my grades wouldn't be as good as they were. I wouldn't have the connections with my friends and peers that I do have now. And so I'm definitely 100% grateful for my e-board experience.
Yeah, I agree. As a freshman coming into Whitewater, this might sound cliche, but being on an e-board literally changed the course of, I think, my college career as to where it was going versus where it ended up being. My first semester, I wasn't a part of pretty much anything, but then when I did get started to get involved in the org and I became a member of the e-board, I started off as the secretary of Tifu Cultural Ensemble. And I eventually worked my way up to now I'm the president. But I was able to meet so many people and learn so much about myself. And it just made my college experience so much fun and so much more memorable because I can say I did this and this is what I did and here's the mark that I left on campus.
Yeah. So that concludes our presentation on some things to know when considering running for an e-board position. If you have any questions, feel free to unmute yourself or ask in the chat. And if you have any further questions that you couldn't think of currently, please feel free to email us at involvement@uw.edu, or you can join us in our drop-in hours, which are Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And I can email out that link to everyone since it's not shown on the presentation here. But thank you for joining us, and that concludes our presentation.
Oh, can you put the link in the chat for her, Kayla?
Yes, most definitely.